Hello, Hudson Montessori School. My name is Matt Virgil. I'm the head of school here, and I wanted to provide you an update on our approach to managing COVID as we reach what tomorrow will be our 2-month mark of the 2021-22 school year. Before I get into the specifics of the update, I do want to communicate that from our perspective here, the year is going incredibly well, managing COVID, and even apart from that. The children are immersed in their learning environments comfortably at this point in the year. They're making academic and social and emotional growth, which is really impressive. One slight or small piece of evidence of that is at the beginning of the year when we were doing car line for our youngest friends, there was a lot of hesitation and maybe even trepidation as they got out of the car to come to class, but now they are bounding out of the car in the morning. It's not uncommon for them to see one of their classmates grab that classmate's hand and go happily together to class, ready for an exciting day here at Hudson Montessori School. And that just doesn't happen with our youngest friends. It happens throughout the entire school year. With that in mind, I do want to give you a few updates as we continue to manage COVID-19. The first update that I want to give you relates to some guidance that came out from the Ohio Department of Health last week. They provided guidance to schools in the area of quarantining. And the thrust behind this recommendation was that in almost all cases, the Ohio Department of Health has not seen spread within schools when COVID cases occur. And that actually lines up with what we have seen here at Hudson Montessori School. We've had 3 cases of COVID thus far, and in all 3 cases did not have community spread. And so the recommendation that they have, and which we will adopt beginning tomorrow, is that if we have a positive case of COVID here in the school, we will not need to have a quarantine for students and adults that are close contacts of that positive case. They will continue to be able to remain in the school. The positive individual will obviously need to isolate, but they can continue in class, coming to school, and we will just work with you as parents to carefully monitor if symptoms arise over the next 14 days, which might be COVID, and then we will work to you to determine if it is. So a couple points on this. In addition to this video, I'm going to be providing a written update, and it has a link to the guidance from the ODH. And it does talk about that they recommend that for the 14 days after, if there is exposure to a positive COVID case, that you would wear masks. We are requiring masks throughout the school, and we'll be continuing to do so in the near term, and so that does not apply, but you will be asked to monitor your child for symptoms, and we would do that as well. And I want to underscore that this does apply to cases here at school. If you would have exposure outside of school, we would need to work with you about a quarantining approach. And the final thing that I would add is, as with all approaches to COVID, it is a flexible approach, and that it is subject to change. The second update that I want to provide to you relates to the networks that we rely upon to help determine how we manage COVID here at HMS. The update is that we have formally engaged with Dr. Vish Hegde, a local pediatrician, to become our medical consultant. Dr. Hegde, on an informal basis, has been available to us throughout this entire process and has been very helpful. And we thought it wise to formally engage him to learn from his perspective and expertise in managing this in schools. As I mentioned, he's a local pediatrician, but in addition, he also holds a similar role at Western Reserve Academy, where he has formerly been assisting them managing COVID during this entire pandemic time. So, as I said, Dr. Hegde will be able to help us look at information that we get from those sources of information to make decisions on managing COVID. And it might be a good opportunity for us to note that an important data point that we do look at in general to look at the presence of COVID is community spread in our county. It's a statistic that is measured by the CDC. and they rate counties on 4 levels: low, moderate, substantial, and high. Summit County is currently high. Most counties in Ohio are. There are 2 statistics that determine community spread, that rating. The one is a 7-day rolling average of positive COVID cases, and the other is positivity, both in Summit County. Fortunately, both of those numbers do appear to have peaked and are coming down, especially the 7-day rolling average has come down significantly in the last 10 to 14 days, but does still place us in the high category. The third update involves the availability of vaccine to a growing number of our children here at HMS. On Friday, the FDA gave their approval to the EUA, Emergency Use Authorization, for the COVID vaccine for children 5 to 11. And based on what we are hearing, it appears that the CDC will approve it as well in the coming days. And as a school, we strongly encourage you, if you have not already, to engage your child's pediatrician to talk about the vaccine and the wisdom of vaccinating your children from COVID-19. Additionally, I also wanted to say that Dr. Hegde and I are going to do a pre-recorded conversation about the vaccine that we will be sharing with the entire community on Monday, November 8th. And in the written summary of this update, there is a form that you can click on, and it allows you to submit a question. So if you have a question that you would like us to pose to Dr. Hegde about the vaccination, by all means, please go ahead and do so. And even if your child is above the age of 11 or below the age of 5, we encourage you to look at that and submit questions because it is available for children above the age of 12 currently. And also we anticipate that in the first or second quarter of 2022, it will be available for children younger than 5 and older than around 2 years old. So aside from the adjustment from our quarantine approaches, our other mitigation strategies remain in place currently at HMS. Changes to those strategies have occurred and will continue to occur. We are eager to try to peel back mitigation strategies as the virus in Summit County continues to hopefully reduce, and that the vaccine becomes more available to children in our school. But both of those are we are monitoring those, and as a result, we continue to be vigilant in making sure that our learning environments are as safe as possible for all our children. When adjustments do occur, I will communicate them to you. Did want to mention that we will have a new version of our COVID-19 protocols to reflect that change in quarantining that I began this video with, that we'll send you earlier this week. And please know that I'm open to feedback on this update, our management of COVID-19 in general. You can reach out to me at email, or you can call me on 330-342-7236. In closing, I'm here at school filming this late on a Sunday morning. Looks like the sun is coming out. If your family is going to be going out tonight and celebrating Halloween, hopefully it is a safe, dry, and fun time for all of you and your friends and family. And we look forward to seeing your children tomorrow here at Hudson Montessori School. Thanks for watching.